You know, you grow up, and you know that entrepreneurs usually go to school, and then they set up a company, they build a career, they succeed, they make money, and then they get married. Well, I did it all the way upside down. I just woke up, was born, got married, had kids, and then I built a career, went back to school, which I'm doing now, and I see so many colleagues from the MBA here, and now I'm setting up my company. I always thought that the Middle East is too big. You know, I'm a country mouse. I lived in a small town. Beirut for me was like, you know, I would take Elon Musk's rocket to get there. It was like impossible for me. And then out of nowhere, I find myself at the top of the Alps meeting the who's who. And I remember Rouhani was there with John Kerry and everyone. And I was like, in this point on the planet, the Middle East is so small and so insignificant. As a journalist, as a financial journalist, I was a troublemaker. This is the central bank governor of Kuwait. And during that session, I was poking him. I was grilling him. I was making his life miserable, and he's smiling. And I'm so used to that. People smile. I wrote about the good times. I remember a press conference where Emirates Airlines and Qatar Airways were competing at a press conference how many airplanes they buy. One says $100 billion of Boeing. No, $120 million of A380. I mean, that's the kind of mood we witnessed 5, 6 years ago. I also witnessed the growth of banks. So some of them merged, some of them expanded. Al-Baraka, 12, 13 countries. Every year, a new country. Every 6 months, a new country. Opening branches, hundreds of branches. I saw some companies get swallowed by banks, Tamweel and Dubai Islamic Bank. Speaking of Dubai Islamic Bank, and my friend Ahmed is here, we saw how the bank was almost going bankrupt. And then, you know, with the new management and new leadership, it just shot back to the moon. And this currency, my friends, is the Kuwaiti dinar. And I was there at the press conference when they depegged from the dollar. I mean, imagine. I remember during one of those moments when we had a press conference and His Highness was announcing the Dubai Islamic economy, you know, strategy, and he wanted to announce the strategy, and he said, I want to buy number one. And I told him, His Highness, number one in what? He said, just number one in the world, number one. And then I left. I had to write a story, and I was running after people like, number one in what? Number one in what? Like, can somebody explain to me number one in what? And I saw Dubai become number one in the world in Islamic economy. I mean, it's just fantastic. And I was part of that, by the way. So I moved out of journalism into the public sector, and I managed the government relations and public sector for Thomson Reuters for also 3 years. But then there was always something missing about what I can do. You know, when you're working with big corporates, you want to do something, but then by the time you get to the top of with all my respect to IBM, Microsoft, and by the time you get to the top, the world has moved in a different direction, and you're still, you know, trying to get things signed. And I always thought, okay, I wanna do something else, something different. As a journalist, I was actually in bed with all the banking sector, and then the government sector. And now in this third life, more into the incubators and the startups, it's so much fun. I'm not urging you all to quit your jobs tomorrow and start your companies. I think Tariq Amin would love that. But actually think about what's going on, you know? Somebody's eating somebody, and somebody's eating somebody. And unless you figure it out now, you'll be eaten in a blink. In a blink. We've got Rak Bank here. We've got Noor Bank. We've got ATCB. All bankers are here. And the people are here are the drivers of innovation inside the banks, inside companies, exchanges. Fintech Galaxy is the hope for the future, is the hope for the kids. It's the hope for this region. And actually, this is a picture from my hometown, Bidnail. Thank you.